Hey, it's MK, and I am back with another Mixed Media Mayhem recipe for you guys today. I am also playing along with Off the Board, and as you guys know, I am obsessed with alcohol ink. So I have this pin, which was perfect for the blue, black, and gold recipe for today. So we left it at a color just basically because now you can choose your own medium if you have the if you want to. So I'll be using this embossing folder by Tim Holtz. It also is a die cutter, so it's going to be the first time I get to use it. I have this scrap piece of paper because I'm going to map my photo with with what's left over. I also have lots and lots of little bits of leftover pieces. I've got this last little bit of the clear stickers. I, at the moment, couldn't find the other one, but it is at the top of my layout. I have some acetate pieces by 49 and Market. Forgive my fingers because they are stained with yesterday's layout. I could not get them off. I made these embellishments a couple months ago, so I'm going to be using one of those on my layout as well. And then I have these adorable little hearts and flare. The hearts are from Scrapbook Addicts on her Etsy shop, and the flare are from Scrap and Happy Studio, who is scrapandhappystudio.com. I have a couple of Simple Stories Weathered Garden stickers, and then some packaging that I'm going to use. There is the packaging for the hearts. I have one more flare that I thought I was going to use, but I don't think I end up using it. I have a photo of my son and his grandpa, and then this is the base page that I picked out. It's mixed media already done for me. The words are in gold. There's black around the edges. There is the dark blue. I absolutely love when I can find a piece of paper that matches the recipe perfectly. But I also pulled out this gorgeous blue, black, gray from Paper Rose that is from, I believe, Mountain Trek. Yes, Mountain Trek Paper E. The first page was from a company called Renke. I believe it is a German company that I got in a Black Friday sale, probably 2019, a long time ago, and it's barely being used. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the branding strip, and then go ahead and try to figure out how I'm going to incorporate this layout or this photo and do it justice for the layout. But the first thing I'm going to do is take this Mountain Trek paper, and I'm going to go and cut out some blue leaves. I thought that it would be very stark and very, striking to have the blue leaves coming out of the blue mixed media background and just give it a little bit more of a splash with some leaves, considering this is an outdoorsy layout. But I do like how the layout in the background almost looks gray. We are at Devil's Post Piles where are we? Mammoth, at Mammoth Lake. So we're at the Devil's Post Piles, and so everything looks gray, even the trees that are laying on their sides and whatnot. So I went ahead and took all my leaves, and I'm going to outline where I want them to go on my layout, just with basically a single vein. And then I'm going to splatter some more gold onto my layout because I just felt like I was going to cover up what was already there. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with my large cluster. So I've got a little tiny cluster over on the first paint splotch on the right, and then this big paint splotch. I'm going to do the exact same thing, just trace out where the vein of the leaf is going to go and do a little bit of splattering. I love how I got that big splatter right there. I was trying to get a little bit more, but I couldn't get it. I love it when I can get something to happen once, but I'm not so happy about the fact that I can't get it to do it again. So I'm going to take some glue and put it down on just the vein. That way I can give the leaves a little bit of lift. If I was to have glued everything down, you wouldn't have gotten that 3D effect from these leaves. The leaves have great texture, you guys. It is fabulous. And just like my other 3D folder, I spritzed some water down before I actually ended up embossing and cutting. I tried to use my small embossing machine, but I don't have the plates needed to make that happen. So I am going to, I already did, but I had to use my larger embossing machine, which is in a different location in my room. I can't bring it to me as easy. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up my photo. I double matted it using some packaging and then that black that black extra scrap of paper that I had. And I'm going to pop it up so that way, again, I don't squish these leaves and, get that texture out of them, right? If I was, like I said, if I was to have glued it down, the texture would be lost. The dimension that these leaves have in them, it would have been gone. So I'm going to go ahead and use up some of the leaves. I'm going to pop up some on foam as well, just to give them a little bit of lift. Not a whole lot, but just a little. And then I'm going to add a little bit of green in using this little panel. So I do know that it has a pink butterfly on it, but I picked this panel, A, for the saying that it was on it, which I don't remember what it says anymore, but B, the butterfly didn't look as pink as all the other panels did. My title is going to be Best Ever, and then I'm going to add a little bit more green over on the left side of my page. So now I have green in 3 different spots. Inside my title, which says Best Ever, behind it is a little bit of green, and then I have green on my panel, and then I have green using that one small acetate piece. And it's very subtle green. It's not a bright green, so I just really feel like it goes with my layout. I'm also going to add a little bit more brown to my layout with these little butterfly film strips. And I'm just going to tuck them in here and there around my layout. And I tried to add another butterfly. I was going to add this one butterfly. I really do like it. Again, it's adding a little bit of brown and gray to my layout, but I try to add that second butterfly. I just wish it was smaller, so it does not end up on my layout. I was going to tuck it here. I'm going to tuck it there. It just does not end up on my layout at all. I also take some of these hearts and I'm going to distress the edges a little bit just to give them a little bit of scuffing to them. I'm going to take the happiness and cut it out. I didn't really like the ornate frame around it, so I'm going to use it as a tiny word that just says Best Ever and then happiness underneath as a subtitle. And for the hearts, I do end up only using one flare, by the way. The other flares just didn't find a home just yet. But I do like the other flare because it adds a little bit more brown to the layout, like the brown is intentional. For these hearts, I'm going to go ahead and use some chipped sapphire and ink the edges of them to give them a little bit of a blue to them. But again, I'm adding a little bit more brown, and I'm going to be popping them up with the foam. I almost forgot to glue my acetate leaves down. Whoops. But yeah, I do like adding a little bit of brown and then a little bit of blue to the hearts. So once I lay down my last little heart, that is all that I am going to do with this layout. I love when I can make a mixed media layout with very, very little mixed media because the background did all the work for me. These are one of my favorite types of mixed media backgrounds I can ever possibly imagine making. I absolutely am in love with these types of layouts. So anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it when you stop by and see what I am up to. Don't forget to check out the playlist down below. I have 2 playlists today. One is for Mixed Media Mayhem and see what all the girls are up to. We also have the link for the Facebook group for Mixed Media Mayhem if you guys are interested in joining our group. And if you already joined, you can go and click a link on to the photo album for Mixed Media Mayhem for today and go and see everybody's spectacular creations and how they used this recipe. Also too, I have the Off the Board playlist in case you guys are curious to see what others are doing for their Pinterests and how they're clearing up their boards. All right, you guys, thank you so much, and I will check y'all later. Bye.